Welcome back down to Ice Level. As always, I am your host and tour guide throughout this beautiful game, James Blennau. We are less than 2 weeks away from our first puck drop of the year in the first season of NCAA Hockey featuring CHL Major Junior prospects, and in one of the most exciting off seasons in a long time. I am more excited for this hockey season than any other sport on planet Earth right now. So let's get into my season previews for the eastern half of the U.S. that are Atlantic Hockey America, ECAC Hockey, and the Hockey East conferences. Starting off with the Atlantic Hockey America Conference, here are my predicted standings for the season. My regular season champion, the Sacred Heart Pioneers, I think they just have too much momentum going into this season. Too much returning talent, especially Felix Trudeau, who we'll get into a little bit later on. In second, I have Holy Cross, also a very strong team. Bentley losing Connor Hasley through the portal to Arizona State, but still a ton of momentum coming off their first NCAA tournament appearance in quite a while. Niagara and Canisius in fourth and fifth, the two upstate teams, are going to make a little bit of noise, going to be a little bit of trouble to play against this year in the Atlantic Hockey America Conference. Army with a new coach in sixth place alongside the fellow new coach program RIT in seventh. And rounding out the top 10, Air Force, Robert Morris, and Mercyhurst in Rick Gotkin's final season. I just don't know if they have it in the tank this year, and they have the talent to make it high in the standings. Next up, my players to watch at each position across the conference. First up is Felix Trudeau. Had the chance to watch him at Connecticut Ice last season. He can be a serious draw for opposing defenders, and his veteran presence this year can keep Sacred Heart consistent in a really top-heavy AHA conference. His distribution also on the first line will be key to his performance. And then Chris Hedden, the Air Force senior defenseman. Anybody that plays for Frank Sarator has to play back, and Hedden took that to heart. He needs to clean up his penalties a little bit, and his rating was not great, but he's due for a breakout as one of the state of Colorado's best defensemen. And Frank Sarator is a great coach to develop those aspects of his game, considering his years of experience. And that goalie, J.J. Cataldo, the Army sophomore, he set multiple records as a freshman to give him a strong future outlook for the new Army team led by Zach McKelvey. And a new era in West Point will need a new goalie. Consistency in net will be the best way for Army to take that next step. No problem for Cataldo in net. Finally, the tournament teams, barring a minor miracle, Atlantic Hockey America will remain a one-bid league this year, and the sky will stay blue. Holy Cross is my team to pick to go to the tournament. Despite losing associate head coach Keston Summer to Quinnipiac, Bill Riga's program has momentum in the right direction to make a tournament appearance for the first time since 2006. They may not be the most exciting team or the most surprising either, considering their regular season title last year, but what they do have is a consistent winning culture under Coach Riga. His fifth season is the time to win a trophy and take the Crusaders back out to the national stage, especially to recruit with a team like Sacred Heart, which has been on the rise for so long. In my home conference of ECAC Hockey, my standings predictions go as follows for all you audio listeners. Cornell in first place, winning the Cleary Cup, followed by Quinnipiac in second. I do think they miss out on it this year. Followed by Clarkson in third, who's going to make a ton of noise throughout the conference this year. Dartmouth in fourth, also been on the rise under Coach Reed Cashman. Colgate in fifth, followed by Union playing at their new arena, Mohawk Harbor. Harvard, RPI, and St. Lawrence after them, and Brown, Princeton, and Yale rounding out the 12 teams in the conference. My players to watch, first we're going to go with the junior Union forward Brandon Bure. He's got potential for a serious Colin Graff-like season up there in Schenectady. You know, he's a veteran ECAC player. He's a great goal scorer. He's got a key shot for the bumper on the power play and potential for a serious breakout this season after a 19-goal and 9-assist campaign last year. At defense, of course, CJ Foley, the junior defenseman from Dartmouth. He's consistently one of the best two-way men in hockey and part of an on-the-rise Dartmouth program. He's a serious contender for ECAC Hockey Player of the Year and could lead Dartmouth to a trophy season if his other players can back him up. And in goal, Matej Marinov, I've had the chance to watch him For the past 3 years, the junior Quinnipiac goalie, he's developed incredibly, and if he gets off to a strong start and earns the starting job in hand, then he could be one of the best goalies in the conference, let alone in New England. And no part of his game stands out as insane, but all of his mechanics are very solid all around. And for my tournament teams this year, Cornell is making it back under new head coach Casey Jones. And without an upset in the conference tournament, I don't see anyone else making it from ECAC Hockey. However, I could see Clarkson taking the Whitelaw Cup in Lake Placid for the tournament championship auto bid. Those two teams are the schools I see making it to the national stage this year, since the rich have grown richer, especially in the Hockey East and Big Ten conferences. It'll be tougher than ever to make the tournament, but I'm confident that Casey Jones will watch his speed as the team hits the ice as my favorites to dethrone Quinnipiac for the regular season title for the first time since 2021. Finally, in the Hockey East, my standings predictions have Boston University J. Pandolfo's Terriers in first place, with Maine in second and Boston College in third. Providence following all of them in fourth with Roger McQueen. UConn and Mike Cavanaugh, after making his first ever tournament appearance for the program, in fifth. UMass following them. Northeastern after them. UMass Lowell dropping off after a surprising season, followed by Merrimack, New Hampshire, and Vermont to round out the 11 teams in the conference. My players to watch throughout this conference, who else but James Hagens, the sophomore BC forward, the Bruins' first-round pick this July. He may not be as flashy as some of the other NHL prospects, but he's consistent and he knows how to score when it matters. This is his BC team with no Ryan Leonard or Gabe Perreault beside him, so Hagens needs to perform and can perform at a BC star level now that he is the focus of the offense. On the defense across town, it's Cole Hudson, the BU sophomore defenseman and the Capitals' 2024 second-round pick. He's the best offensive defenseman in America, no questions asked. His ability to start and stop or handle around a man is unmatched across the league, and he's an incredible asset for Washington if he signs this offseason and heads down to DC. In goal, who else but Albin Boya? His post-to-post speed is some of the best in the Hockey East end of the nation. He was a Mike Richter Award finalist last season alongside Jacob Fowler, Trey Augustine, and Alex Tracy, and he performs at the highest level against every team in the conference from Vermont all the way up to BU. And for my tournament teams, this one's a bit of a doozy. The Hockey East is at least a 5-bid league this year with BU, Maine, BC, Providence, and UConn. Yes, they'd all be making repeat appearances, but the important thing is that these teams are the real deal. Boston University is the undisputed favorite to win the conference this year, especially adding Ryder Ritchie onto their stacked roster. Boston College has the culture and the depth to make a serious run as Andre Gasso wears the C in his senior season. Providence made some serious waves last year, and despite losing some production, Roger McQueen was one of the most surprising commitments this offseason, and the Friars are a force to be reckoned with at the top of the conference. Maine's one of the toughest places to play in America, and it's not getting any easier as Albin Boya enters his junior season, and as long as he's in form, I don't see the Black Bears finishing anywhere outside the top 15 teams in the nation. And finally, UConn has a better team-focused culture than anywhere else. The lack of star power isn't the Huskies' weakness, but their strength, as Mike Cavanaugh has everything he needs to make the program's second NCAA tournament appearance, especially with another success at the Connecticut Ice Tournament this year at Yale's Ingalls Rink. That's all for part one, so make sure you come back next week as we head west for the Big Ten, CCHA, and NCHC season previews right before we officially start Season 2 of Ice Level. I've been James Blennau, and we're not experts, but it takes fans to grow the game. I'll see you around.